Hey guys, I have a list for you. Because that's what we do. We write lists. Coming up, 10 ways that you can help an adult with autism. There are a lot of resources out there for how to behave around children with autism, what to expect, what kind of signs to look for. I'm having a hard time finding resources for adults like myself, so now I'm making one. These are in no particular order, but you'll probably be able to tell which ones I'm the most passionate about. So here we go. Number 1, first of all, is to accept the fact that we actually do have it and we can't just will it away. It's there. I can't get over it, I can't move on, and I can't calm down. Which brings me to point number 2. This is a big one. Stop telling us to calm down. It's an enormous trigger for us. You're disregarding how we feel at a time and expecting us to just do what you want to make your life easier. The words calm down are known to make someone go from 0 to piss the fuck off in an instant, and there will be nothing you can do to calm us down at that point. If there's a reason for us being not calm, then help us come to a solution with that reason. If we aren't uncalm, telling us to calm down just serves absolutely no purpose. My sister's guilty of that one. Most of all, usually when you're telling someone to calm down, you're doing it in a very combative way, so we'll probably just throw that right back at you. And then we'll probably try to break off contact with you completely because we no longer trust you, we don't like you, and we don't want to be your friend anymore. Step number 3, this one's equally aggravating, is stop demanding eye contact. There's this belief that eye contact is a sign of respect, and if you don't make eye contact with someone it's because you're disrespectful, or in like 98% of crime television shows, someone with like shifty eyes is a criminal, but really they might just be autistic or something. A couple of days ago, I tried forcing myself to look someone in the eye as I spoke to him at work, just for shits and giggles. I felt like there was a magnet in the front of my forehead, and it was trying to launch its way out through the back of my head at full speed. I couldn't do it. I had to look away just to like make it stop. So when that's happening, we cannot understand or comprehend a word you are saying. So if you're trying to give us instructions, we're not going to remember. We're not going to hear it because we're so busy focused on this horrible feeling that's in our brain. So in the animal kingdom, direct eye contact is often seen as a challenge, especially among monkeys and apes. I used to observe kids at the zoo would mimic monkeys as they would bare their teeth, and they take that as a direct challenge, and they would just go batshit insane, just like attacking the cage. They're challenging you. You're challenging them right back, so it's like, challenge accepted, let's go. So it's not that far of a stretch to say that eye contact in humans could have some kind of biological reason for us avoiding it. I don't know, just don't do it. Number 4, we go off on tangents, as you might have noticed. And when that happens, we get kind of so passionate into it that we don't even realize we're off topic anymore. So just kind of politely steer us back on track. Don't scream in our face that we're confusing you. If you're just like, you lost me, or let's get back to this other thing. You know, just some kind of courteous way of steering us back on track because we don't even realize we're doing it. Number 5, try not to talk so loud at us. We already get pretty spooked by loud noises, but when someone's yelling in a room, I get really anxious because it feels like I'm getting yelled at. Even though I know I'm not, but Cheryl's like, dude, they're yelling at you. And I'm just like, you know, it's like when you get mad at your sports game and then your dog runs away because they think that they did something wrong. Because they don't know how to differentiate the context. So it's like our brains act very similarly to that. And a lot of times, even though we talk loud, because some autistic folks don't have as much control over their volume or their pitch, especially when they're pre-meltdown. If someone is talking loudly to you, it could be because they're in the middle of having a meltdown or an anxiety attack, and when that happens, our vocal cords constrict, and it makes it so that our pitches go up, and we talk really fast and really loud, and then we get mistaken for being rude and obnoxious, and we just can't help it. Have a softer tone, slow your voice down, and just be calm and soothing, and then that will usually help. I had a manager who, I was in the middle of like just freaking out because I had been stuck outside for 4 hours in the direct sunlight and no one came and got me, and I was like abandoned, and I was just like freaking out at this guy. I couldn't help it. And he was like, "It's okay. Tell me what happened." And then instantly I was like, okay, so here's what happened. And it was just, he had this way about him. Like, he never got angry and he never made it my fault. He never accused anybody of anything. He was like, okay, maybe it was a misunderstanding. I'm like, okay, maybe. So being like soft and soothing does help a lot. Not condescending. There's a fine line there. Don't be condescending. We can tell. Number 6. If talking in person doesn't seem to be helping, try writing it down. Try texting. We find it a lot easier to communicate when we have a moment to gather our thoughts and put them into order, because things do kind of come out like word vomit, just whatever comes out. So if you have a hard time understanding us, or we're having a hard time understanding you, just try some kind of printed format. Number 7. If you're at work with someone who's autistic and the phone rings, try not to expect them to answer it first, or have an understanding beforehand. A lot of people on this color wheel spectrum get severe phone anxiety. When I was in beauty school, the phone would ring and I didn't know that it was my turn to answer it, and I would just sit there like paralyzed in fear, and people would just be staring at me like, what's this dumbass doing? Get up and answer the phone. I'm like, I can't, I don't know. And I would answer the phone and I would say nothing. I would be frozen in fear. That's phone anxiety. A lot of us get it. A lot of people who don't have standard phone anxiety will have answering machine anxiety, where you hang up before you have to leave a message. It's the same thing. So if you can answer the phone instead, because it doesn't bother you, do that. Or have an arrangement. Like, okay, it's going to be your turn to answer the phone. Here's what you're going to say. Write that down. And if I don't call you back, that's why. Number 8. If we're having a hard time getting your attention, and you notice we're trying to get your attention, just give us your attention. Do not yell, "Speak up," or "What?" or anything that's like aggressive. Is just gonna do the opposite for us. It's kind of the same as calm down, where it doesn't have the desired effect. It just makes us more anxious and more likely to clam up. Don't get in our faces about it. Don't get mad at us. I'm sorry. Communication is not our strong point, okay? If we're having trouble getting your attention, it's because we're already anxious or pre-meltdown and we're trying to suppress that. If I'm a cashier and I need a manager, then I'm gonna try to like silently signal to the manager, because I don't want the customer to get angry about how I go about getting the manager. You know, it's a discreet thing, because I might not know what the customer needs. It might be a very private thing. I don't know. So sometimes I don't like everyone knowing that I need help and that I'm a complete dumbass. I don't know. Number 9. If possible, try to be accommodating in the workplace. It's not always possible to accommodate us. You certainly shouldn't be giving special treatment. There is an expectation to do the functions of your job, and that's fair. If you have an opportunity to switch someone, give autistic folk something to clean. Like, we are masters of cleanliness. Believe me. If you're like, I want that nasty ass piece of equipment to be sparkling like it's brand new, we'll do that for you. Like, there's certain roles we are not as suited for, but if you recognize that there's a lot that we are capable of, then try that if you can. I'm understanding if you just can't. Like, we don't have the staff to move people around, but explain that also. And where I work right now, they're really good about that, actually. Most of them understand what's going on. I'm pretty open about it now. So number 10, invite us out, even if you think we'll say no. Even if you're positive, we'll say no. Ask anyway. It's a good feeling to know that someone cared enough to extend an olive branch, and if we say no, keep asking, because we'll probably change our mind. We're probably like on the fence about it, but we're like, nah. But then if you keep asking, we're like, okay, fine. There's one thing where we don't like to plan ahead, because the more time we have to think about it, the more time we have to say no. So if it's a spur of the moment thing, like, hey, we're going out to Applebee's, let's go. Like, don't even give us a choice. Just say, you're going, and that's it. So, okay, fine, I'm going. That's number 10. That's my 10 ways that you can help adults on the color wheel. Most of those I think are pretty simple, and I don't think I'm asking too much. You decide, I guess, but they're suggestions. I'm not gonna force you to do anything you don't want to do, but it would help us quite a lot. And there's a lot of things. This is just 10 things, so if there's more things you want, any suggestions you have, leave a comment. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more. This is a brand new channel, so I don't have a set schedule yet, but keep an eye out, and I'll see you again next time.